State teammates might be joining the team and Baron Browning. Well, what can you tell us about him?
Yeah, I mean, to hear that today is it's awesome. You know what I mean? I got to play with him for a year, my freshman year, that COVID season at Ohio State. He's an awesome teammate, and as a player, he's an all-around athlete. So have him in addition to the locker room is awesome.
Did you get any feel for his skill set, what he can bring in that short time there?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't gone against him since, I was, 18, 285. You know what I mean? But I thought I was huge, you know what I mean? But at the same time, though, again, I think I still got a feel for that whole year during that COVID season. We were together 24/7, the entire team. But, again, as an athlete, his ability to bend, his ability just to get off the rock. I've seen his tape. I've seen his tape the past 2 years, and just keep up with the Buckeyes around the league. And he's explosive off the ball, and I think that's why he's able to threaten the edge often. So I think he adds that to the locker room.
The running game yesterday was on fire. It was really unstoppable. But walk us through Amari's 53-yard run towards the end of the half. What did you see there?
Yeah, we really only needed I thought we only really needed 10, 15 yards. So I thought he was going to slide. But I was like, oh, he's gone. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's going all the way. So, but I think that whole play was exciting. And I started to go up the beach. I went up to Evan Brown. I was, hey, that's exactly how we drew it up. That's exactly how that was designed, So, no, that was super exciting for us, but even more exciting to watch Amari take it all the way down.
Harris, compared to where you guys this team was a year ago, what's your sense of now? How are you feeling now about being where you are, first place in the NFC West, 5-4? What's the difference?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's awesome, to be there, especially compared to last season. But at the same time, I feel like just trying to stay in the moment, not really processing being 5-4, not processing our place in the division at all, because sort of kind of having that mindset of where we at in the standings, it's not going to help us block anybody. It's not going to complete one more pass or get another sack. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's just the energy around the whole locker room is, okay, that's great. The O-line, we had the victory hot dogs today. That's great. But now it's like, okay, Jets. That's it. And just the goal is just to go, I want to know this week and you find out who we got next kind of mentality,
How about being 13 for 13 in goal-to-go possessions this season?
You said, I could repeat that?
13 for 13 in goal-to-go possessions, scored a touchdown in every one of them.
Oh, that's cool. That's what you want. That's how it's designed. So it's good to know the design is working.
Harris, over 200 yards on the ground yesterday. I mean, is that your type of game where it's ground and pound and you guys are just a heavy dose of running the ball?
That's how it's designed, baby. That's what you want. Again, that sort of happened so fast that, I didn't really start to keep up though he had that many yards, but I did feel like every time I looked up, James or Trey and Amari were just downfield, which is exciting every time you do that because it kind of deflates the energy out of a defense when you're able to run the ball however you want, whenever you want,
How would you rate Tre McBride, the runner?
You're talking on that the jet sweep, the stiff arm. You would have thought I was hyped for him. I was like, he stiff armed him. And then he kind of dope. It wasn't really a reach, but he kind of thought about reach. But I get it, for the touchdown. But I kind of put myself in his shoes. I did the same thing. Like he kind of got, for a tight end, tried to juke him out, a DB, and then stiff arm him like he was a little boy all the way. My words, not his. He didn't say that. I'm not trying to disrespect any opponent. I never want to do that, But he kind of did him like that a little bit. I was like, wow, and still scored. So that was impressive to watch. He's excited when he has the ball. He's always hurdling people. I've never, it's rare to see a guy who plays tight end move like a true skill player,
Tyler said there was a lot of confidence going when that play was called and when he delivered it in the huddle. What can you kind of give us some insight in it as far as that goes? The Tre?
Oh yeah, we already knew we started running this past week in practice. It just kind of looked good in practice. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I only have to block to the right, so I know I was going to be cool. But but we see it on film because again, I can't see the sweep until later that day in meetings, and I was like, oh, okay, it looks clean. But I knew any play called like that, we were going to be all right as long as we gave the hard sell and let Tre be an athlete. I didn't score. Give him the credit.
How does the mentality, or does it change at all? When some games, the running game is how you're going downfield. Other games, it's just the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
Does the mentality change at all as an offensive line unit when one is the case versus the other?
I think Drew, I think today he talked about it best. You have to be able to adjust. You know what I mean? Ideally, as an offense, you want to be able to run it on every single team you play. That's the mentality you have to have. We are going to run the ball on you. But depending on how they want to line up, there's going to be certain times where the gotta-have-it scenarios, we're going to need those yards in the air where we have to, because the way the box is loaded up and the structure of the defense. But I think just the mentality has to be there regardless, that we will protect the best. We're going to run the ball the best, because you just have to adjust in this league down depending on what kind of coverage you're going to come out in,
I'll follow through on the handshake that we made. Is this the best possible weekend for you as a sports fan, as an alum of the Ohio State University, to pull away with a win at Penn State and then follow it up with a big time win against the Chicago Bears?
So I think, to be a fan of Ohio State, to be able to watch that happen and to watch Will Howard talk crazy to Penn State, and I had my guy, the Don, call him the Don, Donovan Jackson, go from left guard to left tackle and hold it down versus one of the best pass rushers in Happy Valley is exciting. I don't think Ohio State's lost in the past 6 years. So, at this point, it's tradition. 8 years? No, it's tradition for us at this point. So, that's just how it goes.
Never said that. How much concern is there for the Indiana Hoosiers?
Okay, Indiana Hoosiers. Off the record? The Hoosiers look nice. I think they're a threat, just because they're traditionally not a threat. They're traditionally kind of like a scrimmage. You know what I mean? So the lineup with the Hoosiers, and it's actually a game where a lot of those guys, and they haven't been at Indiana where they're used to just getting curb stomped by the Buckeyes year after year. A lot of those guys came from James Madison or other places where they haven't seen him yet. So I think the energy in the shoe, it's played out the shoe, right? I think that game's going to be one to watch. I know Ohio State is more talented and all that, but I think Indiana's going to come out with some fire. It'll be a good game to watch.
What's your early impressions getting back to this upcoming game with the Jets' defensive front?
Oh, yeah. Kind of like I would say every other week, Jets, their edges and D-line play in the NFL too, so I'm automatically going to say they're pretty good. They're pretty good. But yeah, I think with this week compared to most weeks is that I think their edges, they have a lot of name brand guys, I'll say. You know what I mean? Household names guys in their room, which for us is exciting because it poses a challenge, and it's a challenge to ourselves to be like, for us to be who we believe we are, who we say we are, and play at the standard that we set for ourselves against those name brand guys, which is going to be fun.
The college game versus the NFL, now that you're a season and a half into the NFL, how much more advanced are the looks you get from defensive fronts and the exotic blitzes? Is it a lot more complicated? Does it make you think a lot more than it did in the college game?
Oh, no. In college, it was a lot more exotic looks and fronts, and I felt like in the NFL, it's more, it's kind of what you see is what you get, and I feel like it really depends. Depends on the personnel the team has. If their personnel is great, you're not seeing how much everything, of anything at all, because you want to let your guys rush. Like if you believe, it's like for example, I take everything back to Madden because that's when I turned into a coordinator myself. So, if I believe that my team is a lot better than yours, there's no reason for me to send a blitz. I believe my four can rush and everybody else can cover. But in college, where you have a team full of 5 stars, first team full of, some random guys, for lack of better terminology, twists, blitzes, safety pressures, and all that. So I don't think it's as exotic in the NFL. Kind of what we see during the week is what we're going to see on Sundays. I think that's kind of across the board.
What did you think of your former teammate Garrett Wilson's catch last week?
Garrett, that's the norm for him. You know what I mean? I've seen him do that countless times, but again, he's done that time and time again. So that was exciting to see.
So you were a freshman when it was Marvin Harrison Jr. and Garrett Wilson and Jamison Williams and Chris Olave all in that same receiver room?
So Marv wasn't there with him. So the year with J-Mo, that was my freshman year. But then when Marvin came in, that was my sophomore season. That was my sophomore season.
But the talent in that receiver room.
Talent in that receiver room is ridiculous. What, four win the first round? 4 or 5 win the first round. You know what I mean? So pass protection was fun. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? First down and touchdowns, baby. That's all it was.
Thanks.
Appreciate you guys.